Hello, everybody. It's live on KEXP. I'm your host, Troy Nelson from listener-powered independent 90.3 FM KEXP, broadcasting live right here in Seattle and streaming 24/7 at kexp.org and our free mobile apps. And these live performances are made possible by people like you. So thank you for supporting KEXP. I am so grateful to be in the KEXP live room today with the legendary DJ Shadow. So nice to be with you, DJ Shadow. And if you're ready, let's do this.
And Lateef in music consoles. If you think it's a no, then you insane. Transforms takes you to new planes. This is for all y'all folks who say, oh no, we ain't gon' dance and enhance on this man's song. Do get your ass up. How could you pass up the chance to bring us in your world? Can you stand up? Can you stand up? Can you stand up? Can you stand up?
Holy calamity, scream insanity. All you ever gonna be is another great fan of me.
Me going out of my mind. Yeah, baby.
Knowledge is born when the DJ gets loose. You never see him sweat but produce the death juice. Hear him full effect, no for causing a wreck. Try to guess, but he manifests what I express. He's a pinnacle, that means he's bigger than y'all know. The murder weapon X, Mike checks the fly flow.
Everywhere we go, everywhere we go, everywhere we go, we light it up like the Sideshow.
Now this is how it started. Going way back.
All eyes on the DJ.
Rockin'.
This jockey play the cut.
Can't stop the needle. Won't stop the needle. Can't stop the needle.
The gun is scratching.
Get off the wall for real. The scientist is on a mission, it ain't time to chill. You get beat up from the feet up if you're trying to fast. Put your foot to the rest, the ball is a bloody mess. Put the needle to the wax and all that they react. When the party's packed like it's about to explode.
Everywhere we go, we light it up like the Sideshow.
Like a maniac. And you wanna know why? Because I'm playing my music too late.
That I see you ain't taking nobody out. Intelligence is power, that ain't what you about. We be causing much damage in no place to be. On the strike like a tank on the MIC. On the scene with the gaze to lean. The one-man band reaches the fans with gasoline. Let the beat drop until the dust clears. DJs fear when they see him, they say I'm out of here. The closer we get to the effect, but DJ earns respect while you stack the grass. So don't front it, you'll be sleeping on your deathbed. That's flying images and lyrics go through your head. That's what you get when you mess with two pros. Going toe to toe, blow for blow, now you know.
Everywhere we go, everywhere we go, everywhere we go, we light it up like the Sideshow. Everywhere we go, everywhere we go, we light it up like the Sideshow.
Check. Break down, baby. Break down, baby. Break down, baby.
I was born with the voice of a riot, a storm, lightning, the function, the form. Far from the norm, won't follow like paddle. I'm more like the catalyst, calm in the beats of battle. Who let the cowboy on the saddle? You don't know a missile from a gavel. Paratimber troopers living loose to death, born innocent flesh. But I'm back in the sight for my foes and friends. With a verse and a pen against the line, I won't go and defend. Instead I curse the murderous men in suits of professionals who act like animals. Man-child, ruthless and wild. Who gonna chain this beast back on the leash through Texas? Flora, Ashura, compassionate, Khan, Usura. Lethal, needle to the floor, the cure for crime is murder. Well, I was born, voice of a riot, a storm, lightning, the function, the form. Far from the norm, won't follow like cattle, or more like the catalyst, calm in the mix of battle. Who let the cowboy on the saddle? He don't know a missile from a gavel. Who got the nymph? Who got the nymph? Who got the nymph? Who got the nymph? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Style Uptown, the DJ.
summit talks, you'll hear them speak. It's only Monday. Negotiations breaking down. See those leaders start to frown. It's sword and gun day. Tomorrow never comes until it's too late. You'll be sitting, taking lunch. The news will hit you like a punch. It's only Tuesday. You never thought we'd go to war after all the things we saw. It's April Fool's Day. Tomorrow never comes until it's too late. Tomorrow never comes until it's too late.
Tomorrow is another day. Today is another bomb. 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 Escalation, devastation, generation, separation, situation, dissipation, shot. Another shot, the tender vessel crushing, pop the heart is cold, the gun is hot, shot. I'm not sure if they done or not, I'm not sure that they wanna stop, the gun is cold, the blood is hot, shot. Shot, 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 shot. The heart salute, the guns are not.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Loosen your seatbelts. Loosen your seatbelts. Let's rock and roll.
Kick yourself alive. 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 I know you feel the way I do.
Face the flame. Flame your crew quicker, 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 quicker. Face the flame. Flame your crew quicker. I am vicious, I am quicker, 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 quicker. Face the flame. Flame your crew quicker. I am vicious, I am quicker, I am vicious, I am quicker. Face the flame. Flame your crew quicker. I am vicious, I am quicker, 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 quicker. Face the flame. Flame your crew quicker. I am vicious, I am quicker, I am vicious, I am quicker, I am vicious. Victory, I am quicker. Victory, I am vicious. Victory, I am quicker. Victory, I am vicious. Victory, I am quicker. Victory, I am vicious, quicker, vicious, quicker, vicious, vicious, vicious. Victory, 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 victory. I am quicker, 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 I am this, victory.
Absolutely fantastic. DJ Shadow in the KEXP live room. And I got to say, it's awesome being 8 feet away from somebody and watching somebody who is a master of their craft. And thank you so much, DJ Shadow, for doing this for us.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate having you. I have a few questions before we let you go, if that is okay with you.
Of course.
Awesome. And I'm so curious about your beginnings. And would you say that making music by yourself had a lot to do with the fact that you grew up in Davis, California, being that it's kind of a small town, you just didn't have anyone else to make music with, and that's what set you on this path?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I mean, you know, growing up in the town that I lived in the 80s, early to mid 80s, I knew a couple of b-boys, like breakdancers. I knew a couple of graffiti artists, maybe one or two other DJs, but I didn't know any MCs. Mm-hmm. So the idea of wanting to contribute to the art form, but without having a vocalist, meant that I had to kind of rely and be inspired by, at times, other artists that had dabbled in making instrumental hip-hop, artists like Curtis Mantronic and Double D and Steinsky, and also just, you know, instrumentals on the B-sides of 12 inches, a lot of electro artists like Egyptian Lover, people like that I could kind of be like, okay, well, they're making inroads into something different. What if I just leaned on that as a matter of circumstance? Mm-hmm. And then years later, I'd be able to pretend like it was intentional, like I'm doing right now, as opposed to just being out of options.
Well, and I was thinking about like certain songs when I was growing up that got me really interested in music. I'm curious what your reaction to first hearing Peter Piper by Run DMC was, and then recognizing that beat that runs through it is, you know, Take Me to the Mardi Gras by Bob James. Was that exciting?
It's funny that you bring up Peter Piper, because the very first time I heard Peter Piper, and I, like a lot of people, you know, regardless of what music you're into, you have these firsts. And that was a huge one for me. And I have family in the Northwest, even north of Seattle. And we were waiting at the Bremerton Ferry. And these kids had a boombox. And that was the first time I heard Peter Piper. And I knew exactly who the group was. I didn't know that they had a new 12-inch out. But I was sitting there talking to one of my uncles, just kind of like, oh, this is amazing. I know exactly what it is. And at that time, I think what really was interesting to me about the DJ side and the musical side of hip-hop was that I would hear certain little sounds in multiple records, but I didn't know the source of what that sound was. I knew it was something they were scratching in, but that knowledge, you know, before there was an internet and before there were like a lot of reissues of all of these original breaks, was kind of protected. Like DJs used to cover up the records that they were playing because they didn't want their competition to get hip to what the beat was that was making the crowd go crazy. So that was really interesting and exciting to me at that time, because there had been other records that played the little da-da-doom at the top of Take Me to the Mardi Gras, mm-hmm. but it never let the whole break play. So I was hearing the break beat like all the way through for the first time. It was similar the first time I ever heard a DJ let Funky Drummer go, to where you can hear James Brown doing his like little expressions over the drum track. So all of those moments were exciting.
That's hilarious to me that they were covering up the records. Like, I don't want you to know where I got this beat from. That makes sense, though, to me.
Yeah, it was fierce competition. Every aspect of hip hop was competitive because of the environment it came from.
Mm-hmm. And how significant to you were artists like Ultramagnetic MCs and Schoolie D?
Hugely. Schoolie D, I think the first time I ever heard his classic PSK was on a radio station called KDAY out of LA, AM station, that if I tried really hard and the atmospheric conditions were just right, I'd be able to get it where I lived in Northern California. And it just sounded like music from another universe. Mm-hmm. It was incredible. Ultramagnetic, their records were really hard to get on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. I think the first one that got distributed to our area was like their 4th or 5th single, and it was called, it was the one that sampled the Joe Cocker piano, I can't remember. Mentally Mad was the B-side, I remember that. But yeah, huge group, and that first album was kind of talismanic for my best friend, that we used to only have our allowance money to go out and buy tapes or records, and he would buy them on cassette because he wasn't a DJ, and I would buy them on record. But, again, being in a small town, like sometimes the record store would only get in the tape and not the vinyl, or the vinyl and not the tape, so we would split our resources to be able to get more music to our ears in that way. But he got the tape, and we just drove around that whole summer listening to that album.
And also, what would you say to somebody if they came up to you and said, tell me about Guru?
I mean, I think one of the most, not only, I don't know if I'd say he's underrated, because I obviously people love him, but I think he's never really gotten his due as somebody willing to speak very personally in his lyrics. There's incredible lyrics on all those Gang Starr albums, especially, though, the first couple, where it felt like there weren't any eyes on him, so he was just speaking from the heart and without, fear of judgment. I love all those albums, but yeah, definitely the first few, I felt like he was saying just stuff that was brave to me and stuff you didn't hear other MCs talk about. It was like relationship stuff or like personal, struggles and stuff like that. It was different to do that in that era.
Mm-hmm. It's been so much fun, listening to you for decades and watching your career evolve. And I realize that some artists, as time goes by, they are less and less concerned about being, accepted by certain groups of people. But when you were first starting out and starting to get noticed, I know that it was probably so cool for you that, say, Red Alert posted your flyer from Lesson 4 in his studio, or having Funkmaster Flex doing A&R while you were sending your stuff to Profile and Wild Pitch and all that. You've had so many people recognizing your talents and supporting you, but what can you tell the listeners who may not be familiar with the significance of David Funkenklein and how instrumental he was to your beginnings?
Dave Klein was somebody that I first became aware of through his writing. Again, if you rewind back to 1987, there were no, first of all, obviously there was no internet, but there was also no hip-hop magazines. There was no way to really read about this music that was exploding, because all of the magazines like Rolling Stone and Spin were really invested in perpetuating rock and roll culture. They didn't really have any interest in covering this music, which seemed so antithetical to what they were, again, trying to perpetuate. So the first magazines that I was able to actually read about hip-hop were, ironically, from the UK. They were imported, magazines like Melody Maker and NME, and some other smaller ones as well, one called Soul Underground. So that's the first. And then the first time I saw anybody writing about new hip-hop records and whether you should go out and buy them was Dave Klein in a magazine called Dance Music Report. And it was just one page, and I just thought it was incredible that I could read about people's opinions. And it was clear he was opinionated. It was clear he was based on the East Coast, which had an authenticity to it at that time. What I didn't know is that concurrent to all that, he was also working at Def Jam and taking a lot of artists out on the road. I was supposed to meet him actually at the Def Jam 88 tour in Oakland, But something happened. There was a mix-up with the tickets. Who knows? But later, when I sent out my first batch of demo tapes, I sent one to him. I sent one to all these different people that I felt like, clearly had opinions, and I wanted to see where I ranked. I wanted to see whether I stacked up in their opinion. And what was amazing is that I got responses on every tape I sent out, either asking me to do a remix, or in the case of Source Magazine, they put me in their unsigned hype column, I think in the April 91 issue. And I used to save all these answering machine messages, because we had them on cassette back then. And I remember Funk and Klein being like, he had just started A&R in a label called Hollywood Basic. And I remember his message was just super matter of fact. It was like, hey, I got your tape. It's dope. I have some work for you. I think I can pay you X amount.
Right.
I need it in a month. I'll fill you in on the details when you call me. And it just seemed like, even though really it had been years and years and years of woodshedding and just practicing at home, and to get that kind of feedback and that kind of immediate recognition was incredibly vital to everything that came after.
Now, do you still have these voicemails saved?
I might somehow.
Because I'm surprised they're not in some of your music and mixing in some of these voicemails.
One of two things happened. Either I saved it and it's in a box with literally thousands of other tapes and I just haven't gotten to it yet,
yeah.
Or my roommate at the time just literally rewound the tape to the beginning and we continued to record over it. One of those. I know it was saved for a long time, mm-hmm. But I also have a sneaking suspicion that maybe I did something to annoy him at some point, and he was like, "All right, tough guy, let me rewind this tape to the beginning." And the Source Magazine one I remember really vividly too. It said something like, "Yo, Shadow, this is Matty C from The Source. We want to feature you in our next issue." And I hadn't even sent it for that purpose. I just wanted naively for them to hear it.
Just hear it.
Yeah. So.
Not expecting that. Wow,
Yeah.
That's amazing. I was thinking about the equipment, the evolution of equipment over all these years, and making the album Introducing on an Akai MPC 60 and some turntables. Now, if you had the equipment today, Pro Tools, and one would say it would have been so much easier to make Introducing, but would it be the same?
It wouldn't. It always strikes me as being. You don't take it in any kind of negative way, but mm-hmm. when people kind of imply that, oh, you should go back and do that type of thing again, I just calmly explain it wouldn't be possible because you can't unlearn. I didn't know what I was doing back then, in a nice way. It's sort of like when bands try to make a really raw garage rock sound as though it's 1966, but they haven't. Benefited from the 20 years of evolution of that art form. There's something inherently kind of corrupt about going back in that way. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't know how to make that kind of music now because I don't remember what was going on in my head really. I know what I was trying to do and it still sounds immediate to me, but there was a naivete and a innocence to it that you can't fake or replicate.
Yep. So the process back then and the equipment that you had, it had to be exactly that for introducing the sound exactly how it does. It just wouldn't be the same.
And the mixes had to be done in real time where I wasn't in a studio that had, instant recall where all the faders remember where you last left them. Every time I did a pass, I had to, punch in the reverb here and cue too much, or rewind the tape, start over again.
Wow.
So there's literally a kind of a one of a kind. When you make instrumental music in the fashion that I do, it's as close as you can get to that was the magic take, and I wouldn't want to do it again.
Yeah, I just can't imagine how many hours went into that and patience. And
I know
that's incredible.
Me neither. Now.
Well, let's snap forward a few decades and still just putting out fantastic records. The new album, Action Adventure, just been loving this. And I love how each album is evolving. It's different. And I'm curious about the connection between the new album, Action Adventure, and your love of comics and science fiction. What's the connection there?
Yeah, I mean, I was just a typical kid in the 70s and 80s, like... I was 5 when Star Wars came out. I mean, it was a huge moment for every kid. And I later read magazine, stuff I could get my hand on, like Cinefex and Starlog and these different magazines that were starting to come out to just talk about how they made these movies. So I was interested in the special effects. I was interested in the sound design. I remember there was a TV show, like a TV special, around 1980 that Mark Hamill narrated where they showed, this is how we made the laser sound. And it's just a guy hitting a garage door spring with a wrench. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. I was like, oh, really? That's what it is? It's not some, it's not a bunch of men and women in a lab coat, like making, like with, these like waveforms. It's just something that simple. And so, and I mean, coincidentally, like that's the same aesthetic that I identified with about hip hop, because I couldn't afford big fancy equipment, and hip hop was this idea of, just take what's around you. And then comics, same kind of thing. I mean, that was, I remember borrowing my brother's stack of Archie comic books when I was like 4. And this kid riding up on his dirt bike and being like, hey, could I borrow those, kid? And I was like, oh, here we go. And he just scooped them up and rode off. And those experiences just kind of show you, like, there's value in that stack. And, I was super into comic books, Marvel, DC, that whole thing. And then segued out of it once, there's only so far your dollar can stretch. And I got more and more into hip-hop in, like, 84, 85. So the comic thing tailed off, but during COVID, I was gifted this large collection of comic books from a friend, about 15,000 books. And it stretched all the way, all eras. And over the course of COVID, with nothing to do, I just found myself being kind of absorbed with this collection. And my friend, I was on the phone talking to, and he goes, uh-oh, you've gone through the door. I can hear it in your voice. You've gone through the door. There's no turning back. But there was something just really, after all these decades of just being completely out of it. I mean, I didn't even care about the movies. I was completely out of it, every aspect of it. But I always appreciated the art form, not only of comic books, but cartooning as well. In daily strips, and I used to go to the library in my hometown, and they had newspapers from like the 30s and 40s on microfilm, and I would just pull them up and look at the Sunday funnies from that era and gain appreciation for all these different artists and writers. And that's really kind of where my head's at, is learning about the different disciplines, who created what, where it came from, rather than like, necessarily being invested in the contemporary comic book industry as a whole.
That sort of happened to me with video games. Like when I was young, loved it. It was everything. And then I got older and I wasn't doing video games anymore. I didn't have time and all that.
Exactly.
And then recently-ish, I don't know, 8 years ago or so, somebody was like, have you seen the new Zelda game? And I'm like, oh, wow. And started playing it, and I'm like, right back in. And I'm like, this is amazing. And also, from an artistic standpoint, like how they created this, and like how it's just fascinating to me. So.
Yeah, completely. Again, same, like, used to save my lunch money to go to Long's Drugs and spend it all on Tempest and Donkey Kong Jr. and, all the games as they were coming out. It's also like, to go to an arcade in that era had almost kind of a nightclub vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
do you remember the Tron arcade? It was like neon blue, and it looked like it was from the future.
Totally.
Yeah. That sucked me right in.
Yeah. The sound of the light cycles in that game.
Yes.
It was hard too. I thought it was hard as a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Joust, Robotron, all those.
Oh,
Williams
Robotron.
Yeah,
you would fire with the joystick in different directions.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
and
amazing.
again, with those Williams games, sound design, incredible. All those Williams games had the best sound design, in my opinion. So there was something about, there was like this nexus between all these childhood obsessions, whether it was, you know, science fiction movies or comic books or video games, where, and then a lot of the early hip hop that I really loved had a technological aspect to it or a futuristic aspect to it as well. Because that fast kind of electro sound was coming into its own at a time when I was able to start affording to buy 12-inch singles. And then scratching and sampling had this very futuristic component to it too. So
Awesome. Well, DJ Shadow, thank you once again for taking the time to do this. We are very appreciative of your time, and this was just a fantastic performance as well, so thank you.
Appreciate it. It wasn't perfect, but I had fun.
I don't know. I was inside of it, so I just loved it. And once again, you've been listening to DJ Shadow right here, live on KEXP Seattle.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.